We're born in the moonlight. Ain't no fantasy. Can't breathe in the sunlight.
Hello Aromas, this is Aromie here. Welcome back to Red Embrace Hollywood. We are here deciding, I believe this is the deciding pointer of who you're actually going to go into. So I am going for baby boy Heath, because that is the guy I've been really interested since the very beginning of the demo. Heath seemed incredibly compassionate, and unless it was a very convincing act, he was also quite attached to me. Still, I knew he must have had struggle of his own. I could see something always lingering behind his eyes. With our shared discarded blood, we might understand each other even better, and if I partnered myself with him, I'd always have a reminder of humanity close by. Now, is it the correct choice? I mean, obviously, you can pick anybody. 3 guys, you can pick one. Then it was settled. Tomorrow I take a break from running Cherie's errands and go find Heath instead. That thought was only a small pillar in the whirlwind I'd been thrown into, but I clung to it as tightly as I could. I'm so used to the game, but like, okay, demo end! A little excitement sparked through me as I shut the curtains, curling onto my bed to hide from the coming daylight. If this was what fate had in store for me, then so be it. And then demo end, and then I'm gonna get triggered. I would fight and struggle to stay afloat in this world I've been thrown into, and no matter what, I wouldn't give up. Even if it meant I would never see another sunrise again. Bam. New chapter. Heath Route. The faded wooden sign in front of me looked like a relic from Hollywood's golden age. Saturnalia. I read in my swirly letters. I read it. It read in swirly letters. It seemed like this was the place. I left the hotel not long ago, where the desk clerk helpfully gave me directions to Heath's bar. Apparently, it was a popular neutral ground for I got a burp. LA's vampires, even the ones who didn't live close to Hollywood. I wasn't really sure what to expect from the place, or if I'd be welcomed as a new vampire, but since Heath ran it, I'd hopefully be safe. I wonder how they knew it was a good place for vampires. Like, how did vampires know to come here? Like, how many vampires started coming here to spread the word? Ooh, y'all look creepy. The bar I stepped into was dim, slightly cramped, and flecked with low conversations. Something about it felt faded, like the sign outside. Maybe it was the peeling movie posters on the wall, or the lonely patrons sitting in corners, or the glittering lights that filtered through the windows. Somehow it brought me back to a time I couldn't even remember. Pardon? Oh, how do you do? Someone started to squeeze past me to reach the door. Oh, fuck. The single Gotha from the other night. Fuck. Hi. Move out of the way? Evening? Move out the way? He eyed me curiously for a moment, but soon stepped towards the door. What? You said pardon me, I'm just moving out the way. Well, it was a neutral ground after all. It probably wasn't all that strange to see members of all 3 houses hanging around. His timing had been remarkably coincidental, though. As much as I'd love to have you for a door greeter, I think I'd rather talk to you myself. Huh? Who said that? I turned to see Heath sauntering towards me, wearing his usual gentle smile. A lit cigarette dimly glowed between his fingers, which he brought to his lips as he approached my side. Oh, well, this is where I have to start saving. Well, aren't you a sight for sore eyes? I didn't know vampires smoked. Hello, Heath. How are you? Just making my way through another night. Nothing eventful's happened, not until you came in. Oh, smooth words. He let out a soft laugh, not trying to hide his pleasure at my arrival. I hope you like the bar. You'll see a lot of new faces here. On most nights, it's neutral ground like the club. A little less noisy, maybe. That was a cute smirk that you just did. I try my best to keep Saturnalia a place for all of us, even now with the war getting so bitter. He's so cute. It's not a lot, but I feel like it's the only thing I can do to give us a better chance at peace. Maybe a drink will help them put their differences aside, even if it's just for a little while. Gently trailing off into silence, he took a drag of a cigarette, exhaling a thin stream of smoke. His gaze lingered on the floor for a long few moments, before shifting back to my face full of a lively sparkle. I wonder what he was like during, before he turned vampire mode, like actor mode. Like, what was he like? But enough about that. I know you came here for a reason. You decided to choose me as your mentor, didn't you? How'd you guess? No, I came here to just check you out, I guess. I did. I was hoping you could help me figure things out. To be honest, I think I'm mostly just curious about you. Ooh. Ooh. To be honest. Was that bad? Was that a bad choice? From his reaction, I feel like it's a bad choice. He blinked, inhaling softly. But it didn't take long for a warm, almost shy smile to curl over his lips, and he subconsciously stroked a hand down his scarf. At this rate, you're going to make my heart beat again. Oh, that's my job. That's now my end goal. But I can't be so selfish. You're still new to this world, and before you and I get to know each other better, I want to help you find a path for yourself. Oh, you're so kind. He rubbed his shoulder as he spoke, pausing to bring his cigarette back to his lips. It looked like he was hesitating over something, but I couldn't quite tell what it was. Listen, why don't I get you a drink? It probably sounds like a strange thing for our kind to do, but it makes it a little easier to figure out what we are. You mean alcohol? Obviously he means alcohol. What does he mean? I usually just stick a straw in the nearest hobo and call it a night. I'd rather not drink, actually. What the you know, just go to the nearest hobo, grab a metal straw, because you know, no plastic around here. You need alcohol? Not quite. Come over here and I'll show you. Oh, what? It's not alcohol. Wishing for me to follow, Heath led the way past the quiet rows of booths and tables. I caught a few wary glances thrown towards me, curious faces peering into mine as I walked by. Were those looks because I was a new vampire, or because I was working for Cherise? Who knows? Or because they're into Heath. It's cute. He's actually like behind the bar. Like you can't really see it, but they actually like framed him inside the thing. After Heath pulled out a seat for me, he glided around to the opposite side of the bar. It feels like I've been running Saturnalia for so long, even though it's only been a few years. I owe Cherise so much for giving me the chance to earn a little humanity back. As he gazed off into the distance, Heath reached beneath the bar, pulling out a cloudy decanter of deeply ruby liquid that I almost could have mistaken for wine. It's not wine. I mean, the vampires. What do I expect it is? Of course it's blood, right? Then he put down a black opaque glass before me, gesturing invitingly. It's taken willingly from a human who's had alcohol, you see. Strange maybe, but it's the easiest way for us to drink. Most can't handle anything like beer or even coffee. I don't want to seem like I'm only trying to get you tipsy though. So it's a human's blood mixed with alcohol? What? Well, ew. I was gonna say, what would that taste like for them? But I guess the blood would be more stronger. I'll have to pass with thanks. I wouldn't mind a drink. Is it better than the bagged kind? You should have one too. I would like to drink with him. I planned on it. I'd hate to leave you drinking alone. He poured us each a small glass, passing it to me before clinking our glasses together in a toast. To us. As a couple. In the future, please. He lifted his glass to take a long drink, and I did the same. The rich, intoxicating headiness of blood and the telltale burn of alcohol mingled in my throat. It was surprisingly good, or maybe it wasn't too surprising considering Heath's self-proclaimed standards. Are you okay? You know, I thought it was going to be so easy, being a vampire. His voice lowered a little, words falling into the steady cadence as someone absorbed in their thoughts. You only have sorry, I get so distracted by his looks that I'm not even wanting to read. You only have to feed yourself, stay away from the sun, and keep your true nature secret, and you live forever. You can do whatever you like, take all the lovers you want, go to all the places you've dreamed of. How? What money? Money still exists, guys. But when you finally realize that you're no longer human, when the curtain slowly peels back and you start to miss how things were, like the sun, taking pictures in daylight, that was the hardest part for me. I noticed Heath's fingers squeezed tightly about his glass. His knuckles might have turned deathly white if they hadn't already nearly been that color. But the next moment he bit his lip, letting out a soft laugh. Listen to me, already saying all these depressing things. You're not getting bored, are you? I mean, technically you've been saying depressing things since I met you. But you're just like venting, so it's fine. Of course not. No, just a little depressed, kind of, but I'm used to it. You really think I could get bored talking to you? That's so sweet of you to say. It'd break my heart if you didn't mean it, so I really hope you do. Of course I do, what the fuck? He fiddled a little with his glass, tracing a fingertip along the rim. You need to stop smoking, though. Not down for that. Well, then again, you can't die. You're kind of immortal, so I guess it doesn't matter. Well, you came here for my help, and I want to help you in any way I can, but I like to know a little more about you first, so I don't put wrong ideas into your head or waste your time. After setting his forgotten cigarette in the ashtray, Heath leaned forward a few inches, gazing intently into my eyes. Maybe the most important question is, why did you come to Hollywood in the first place? I dreamed of becoming a star, and I knew this was where I belonged. I felt like I'd find a way to express myself here, reaching the whole world. I wanted to change things, to start making the world a better place. I was just drawn here. It could have been any number of reasons. I honestly do not remember my choice in the past during the quizzes, because during the quiz you do get a question like this of like, what's your passion or whatever. I guess I would like to find a way to express myself here. I don't want to become a star. Of course, artists, writers, designers, even just people living their everyday lives. Things are so free and creative here. He turned his head up and slightly towards the warm light, closing his eyes with a small sigh. At least that dream doesn't have to be ruined. Hollywood lets you explore and share new ideas of yourself, even for people like us. I know you'll find a way, and I hope I can help you somehow. When Heath turned back to me, he looked almost innocently excited. Staying silent for a moment or two longer, okay, I thought that I read that wrong. He sucked in his bottom lip to chew on it lightly. I'd like to ask you another question if you don't mind. About our house and the conflict. He paused to refill his drink, pouring into the small glass until it nearly ran over. Are you okay, dude? He reached out to top off my drink too, before putting the decanter back under the counter. You're an Ascari, just like me, and it makes you seem even more wonderful, as if fate really did bring us together. But I'm also afraid for you, Michiko. I'm afraid that the Mavar Golgotha might reject you, even though you're still new and free from all the grudges and vendettas, just because of the house you're in. If they do reject you, what will you do? Well, politics. I only plan to support Charisse. I don't need the other houses to like me. I don't care about Charisse and supporting her. I'll find a way to win them over, don't worry. To be honest, politics? I like these two choices here. But do I really care if they don't like me? Sort of. I'll find a way to win them over, don't worry. I might doubt that if it came from a different Ascari, but I have a feeling you can win over anyone you want to. You better be careful, or else the whole city might fall into your lap. No, I just want you. I just want you. He snickered playfully, but his expression never quite lost its seriousness. Before long, his teasing grin fell into a hesitant smile, then the mirth faded altogether. Michiko, I'm not a very good liar. An actor maybe, but not a liar. So I'll just tell you what my motive in this war is rather than trying to hide it. As he spoke, he looked slightly embarrassed, though no less determined to say what he wanted to say. Somehow I want the three leaders to bring their houses back together. This is so fucking weird, because after playing Fire Emblem, where they're like, oh, we just want all the leaders, the houses to be together, in Dimitri's eyes, not in... I keep wanting to call her Edgelord, but I know she's not Edgelord. If we could only get rid of this fear and hatred dividing us, then maybe we can make Hollywood at night feel like home again. I'm going to try my best to make that happen, but how could we bring them together? That sounds pretty unrealistic, to be honest. No, I really stand his ideas. I'm going to try my best, but how could we bring them together? I don't think I can solely do it myself. So how can we bring them together? That's the hard part, isn't it? To me, an alliance with another house seems like the only way, because it'll make the third house stop and listen. Doesn't Randall hate Charisse too much to compromise? Do you think the Golgotha leader would join Charisse? I think at the end of the day, maybe Randall would be more, a better listener than the Golgotha. Honestly, I can't say for sure. He and his followers are hard to separate sometimes. I want to believe Randall is still human enough to take bloodshed. And if he is, then there's a chance he'll be willing to listen to reason. After solemnly uttering those words, he took a long drink from his glass, nearly emptying its contents. Contents? See how he's under there? It's so cute. Then pulling away from the counter, he slipped out from behind the bar, coming around to my side. Yes? With a barrier no longer between us, the atmosphere suddenly felt much more personal, more vulnerable and open. I want to help you, Michiko, as much as I can. Support, guidance, even just being here to tell you how important you are. Oh, anything you need from me is yours. Except your heart, I'm sure. As he leaned down beside me, he dropped his voice to a quiet, serious murmur, frowning in an almost naively earnest way. It's just, I'm already so deep in this society and the war. I don't like whispering, but okay, and all the problems that come with those things. I wish I could protect you from them, but I know you'll be pulled in too, obviously, because I'm the newbie here. Fuck. Whatever happens, I plan on being ready for it. Would you rather I pull you out? I'm already expecting the worst. I doubt I'll be disappointed. I don't think I can pull him out. But what I'm gonna, most likely I might stick with this choice here. Whatever happens, I plan on being ready for it. But I kind of want to see what would you rather I pull you out is. I think it's too late for that. This is where I'm meant to be. I can't run away and leave it all behind. No, I have to see things through to the very end. Okay, good. I'm just new here, so I don't expect you to like be like gung-ho about it. Whatever happens, I plan on being ready for it. Michiko, I wish our paths had crossed a long time ago. Ooh, I don't know which voice is better. I don't know. As his words drifted into silence, he lowered his head. The pause that stretched on between us began to feel a little awkward, like there was something unspoken hanging in the air. Ooh, I don't know, bro. That was kind of weird. I think this one might be better. Because he's at least smiled a little. As his words drifted into silence, Heath lowered his head. Or maybe... I kind of... this one... this one's kind of tough because I don't know. Oh, and I'm way over time. I wish sometimes I was streaming this so I can actually ask you guys which one I would stay for, but I'm not. I'm gonna ooh, I actually do not know, so I'll just stick with this one because at least he smiled in this one, but then again he smiled in the other one too. Wait, let's see. This one's very short though. This is hard. Because one is like he wishes, like I feel like it's both regret, but it's more regret in the first choice that I couldn't be there during the time he was there. So I'm just gonna stick to would you rather pull you out, I guess. Even though in the very beginning I'm like, oh, I'm gonna stick with this one choice, but the reactions I just don't know. I'll just stick to this one. If I know I got friend zoned, I'm gonna just remember this point in time where I decided to go against what I originally wanted. But anyway, thank you guys for watching today's episode. Stay beautiful, and I'll see you guys in the next one.
Touch it, touch it, touch it.